Let us look at the other Asian observers which are part of Arctic Council. China is the first one. China gained the observer status in the Arctic Council in 2013, participating in discussions without voting like India. And research and scientific collaboration, actually China emphasizes Arctic scientific research focusing on climate studies, environmental monitoring and sustainable development initiative. China also seeks opportunities in the northern sea route to other shipping lanes and regional trade resource investment as far as economic interests are concerned. The China views the Arctic as part of the Belt and Road Initiative to boost trade and ties. China supports multilateral Arctic cooperation, respecting Arctic states' rights and promoting peaceful, stable environment. With respect to Japan, Japan seeks to strengthen its presence in Arctic governance and research. The strategy includes technological expert. Japan wants to leverage its advanced technology in icebreaking and maritime safety. Similarly, in the research and development area, Japan wants to invest in collaborative research projects focusing on climate and ecosystem studies. And how do they want to contribute? Especially in the area of scientific research, Japan actively would like to contribute to studies on Arctic marine system and climate dynamics. And Japan also would like to explore its economic opportunities like shipping routes and resource opportunities, particularly in the fisheries and minerals. And they would also like to collaborate with various Arctic countries. They would like to engage with Arctic states and other observers to share knowledge and resources. Similarly, Japan would like to participate in international initiative addressing Arctic challenges. The next country is South Korea. South Korea would like to focus on scientific research and potential economic opportunities in the Arctic region. Their main strategy is based on green growth. South Korea aligns its Arctic policy with its international vision of sustainable development and green growth. South Korea would like to invest in Arctic research to enhance understanding of environmental changes. And scientifically, they want to contribute to climate and environmental research, emphasizing the Arctic's impact on global climate system. South Korea would like to provide expertise in shipping and port management. South Korea wants to collaborate with Arctic states on joint research initiative and climate action program. Similarly, they would like to participate in multilateral forums to address shared Arctic issues. The next country is Singapore. Singapore's involvement centers on scientific research and economic implications of Arctic change. Their strategy includes Singapore would like to position itself as a key player in the Arctic shipping and logistics, because they would like to become a global trade hub, and they also would like to promote sustainable maritime practices and environmental stewardship for the sustainable practices. And how Singapore would like to contribute? They would like to engage in climate change research and environmental monitoring related to Arctic conditions. Similarly, they would like to explore opportunities in Arctic shipping and trade routes as an economic engagement. And Singapore would like to collaborate with various Arctic nations on research and sustainability initiatives. They also would like to participate in discussions on Arctic governance and economic development. Here is a comparison of various countries. For example, in the scientific research, India is conducting regular expeditions and mainly focusing on climate. China is focusing on significant funding for multiple stations to be set up in that particular region. Japan wants international collaboration. South Korea wants to work on climate change and focus. Singapore also wanted climate impact projects, and annual spending, if you look at, India is spending around 12 million US dollars and South Korea is spending around 15 million US dollars. Singapore is spending 7.5, whereas China is having a big contribution with $100 million spending. The economic investment is expected to increase. For India, it is expected to increase by 3 billion by 2030. And South Korea is also in the same lane like India. And Japan is little bit ahead with 5 billion by 2020. But China is planning to spend around 10 billion by 2030. So the international forums all are engaged in the Arctic Council. And climate change commitment is India would like to commit around $240 million for the climate change commitment. Other countries are also contributing significantly for this particular aspect, and new research funding is mainly for India. It is 24 million over the next 5 years. And with respect to the cultural engagement, India would like to support indigenous rights, and Japan wants cultural exchanges. South Korea is looking for sustainable practices. Singapore wants to participate for knowledge exchange. China would like to expand its many of the initiatives. And with respect to capacity building, India mainly focuses on educational collaborations. Japan would like to focus on research capabilities. South Korea wants international collaborations. Singapore also wants educational partnership. China wants research partnerships. And with respect to technological development, India would like to invest in climate technology. Japan would like to focus on advanced technology usage. South Korea would like to leverage on shipping. Singapore wants innovative sustainable shipping. And China wants to engage in technology transfers. So the public awareness, all the countries are involved in public awareness initiatives. And what are the strategic interests for India? India would like to emphasize on maritime security and climate change. Japan would like to focus on energy resources and shipping routes. South Korea would like to focus on economic potential and shipping and resource management. Singapore focuses on maritime trade routes and sustainable practices. China would like to focus on resource access and shipping routes. The climate impact is being acknowledged by China. With respect to climate impact, China acknowledges climate changes and its global effects. It also engages in research activities. India actively participates in climate change discussions and focuses on adaptation. Japan engages in research on climate impacts in the Arctic region. Similarly, South Korea is also interested in that. It also mainly focuses on shipping and resources. Singapore promotes initiatives to address climate impacts through research programs. And the next important aspect is, after the climate, we talk about environmental concerns. So, India emphasizes on sustainability in research and development initiative. China is having a high investment in research on ecological impact, pursues sustainable practices. Japan advocates for environmental protection in resource management. South Korea is focusing on sustainable practices in fishing and resource extraction. Singapore would like to promote sustainability in Arctic initiative and partnerships. And the financial investment, we had already seen, all the countries are significantly contributing to research activities related to Arctic.